All right. Hello, everybody. It is, what is today? Thursday, November 16th. I have really kind of sworn off trading during the day right now. Well, not that I'm trading at night, but it's so easy for me to get sidetracked from creating this curriculum. And I actually have started over from scratch. As you can see, my setup now is the setup you will see from me from here on out. You will be able to see all 4 charts from here on out. We're going to talk about all of them from here on out. So that is something that I want to just establish as this is it. This is the solid. This is what we'll be looking at. I may move something like that a little bit from here to there, but that's about it. So let's talk about what we're seeing. Now, we are below the 0 line on the 610. I don't care. What got me in this trade? This pullback right here, this pop-up, I was just sitting down. I got in on the second bar right after that first pop-up. I'm looking for my first target to be right here at the previous high. And then if the next one goes, it may go for a little bit. So I'm going to just be prepared and watch. Now, 1597. We've created divergence. We have divergence here. We have divergence here. So we'd really want to see it push past this divergence and continue with a quote-unquote strong trending market, which is what divergence represents. I'm going to bring this in just a little bit. So here is the first spot, like, ooh, it hit there. Again, are we going to turn around and come down? We're finally getting some blue BBs. Are they inside of the Bollinger Band? They're trying. This being outside of the Bollinger Band, we're really going to need them to push up. It is a very weak Bollinger Bands here. So they are very weak Bollinger Bands. Not it is a very weak. And what happens here a lot, guys, so, you know, what I need to be prepared for is if it's going to pull back and just kind of snuggle into this EMA. If it does, it's going to stop me out where my stop is at. But right now, I'm still feeling pretty confident. We still have some strength up in the MACDs just on the 610. If this pushes up past this area, I'm going to move 2 ticks. I'm just going to go ahead and sit there for a second. I want to push it past here. I'm anticipating it to do it with these strength of these MACDs to the upside. There we go. All right. It has closed past this little bit of an area. I'm still watching it. Still not exactly what I want to see. I want to see it really popping up here. I may just take my first one out at a point with a little bit of a uncertainty. The MACDs are still showing strength up. Let's see. It's these MACDs that aren't really pushing through. The fact that these have rolled below, they can very easily pop back up and go back above this Bollinger Band. But there we go. So I am going to move this one up just a little bit more. Let it take the first one out at a 1.25. We still have strength up. Look at those MACDs. I could really have kept that pushed off. It's these that I really want to see them just pop up, kind of like here. See, they were below, they pulled inside, they popped up. It's these that I'm not a huge fan of. These are still blue and outside. Still has a chance. If this pops up above this and takes me out, I'm going to move my risk to a break even. I'm not going to lose anything on this trade at all. We'll go ahead and just put it at that point, maybe a little bit more comfortable. Starting to slow down just a bit. I do like the fact that this may be a long bar with a close at the top, which gives me lots of room to run to the next target. A little bit of a head and shoulders happening here, but not one to be too concerned with. Okay, I'm going to go back to 79 with this. We're going to go 2 ticks behind this little spot, which is going to put me at a break even. What I want to look at is where's a possibility. I don't like using it from that pivot, but possibility maybe up here. It's still popping up, so I'm going to move it up just a little bit and be prepared to take it. And look at those strength in those MACDs. That was all the slowdown. We got to let that little bit of a slowdown kind of freak me out. That's just, you know, such is life. Really like these MACDs still staying outside of the Bollinger Band. You could really pop up. So what may happen is it may pop up and roll off of this top Bollinger Band, although the MACDs aren't saying that that has much of a chance. Yeah, let's watch this fly through there. We are at, here, this resistance area. The MACDs are leading lower than last time we were here. They are breaking back above the top Bollinger Band. I may just go ahead and take it based off the areas. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and take my exit. Based off the fact that we are reaching this top Bollinger Band, this could really keep going. Yeah, there it goes. I don't really have a spot that I think it might go. Maybe up here? Let's look. Let's just kind of watch and see if it reaches up in this area up here. Yep. Early exit. Hey. Let's watch and see if it reaches right up to that 61%. It wasn't really like a... I don't want to really use that area because to me, this isn't much of a pivot. It did pivot in the MACDs there, which is why I chose that spot, but it wasn't a huge pivot. But you can see it's going right up to there. Staying outside the Bollinger Bands. Here's where the next area would be like, okay, it made it back below this bottom Bollinger Band. This would be an area where I could be looking for a roll off. So yeah, it went for 2 more points. Ooh, I got a message from a student. Look at that beautiful pullback right into the area. So I missed it. I have to bring it right here. Right in here for a possible continuation up. I don't like the top Bollinger Band being here, but the 1597 says it still has strength. The 610 is just starting to die out just a little bit. Oh, yeah. I don't like taking these. So, you know, I feel like it was a little bit of an early exit, especially by following the MACDs. This would be, I need to move this just a little bit so I can reach it. There we go. This would be the first real signal. The first purple right in here are the pullback up, and the purple BB is rolling inside. That's kind of your first sign that things are really slowing down. But it could just really just pull back in here and continue up right here. Still outside of the Bollinger Bands. But, man, here's what I was just talking about, pulling up to that top Bollinger Band. It could easily break through like it did here, but the pinching Bollinger Bands is also a signal of weakness in this push to the upside. But just as when the EMAs are flat, they can easily be violated. All right, so I have a student that I'm going to get with this morning. The first was a point. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, first was a point. I think the second was 2 points. So let's take a look at what we did today. 2.75. So point, 1.75, and done for the moment. It did get really close to that 61%. The next target, if this pulls back and continues, it's going to be up here where that 100% is, which is right here. That 100% is right there where that last high was. Then following that, the next highs are way the heck up here. And I put 2 lines there because it put a little bit of resistance and then it pushed a little further. The same thing happened right here. Put a little resistance, then pushed a little further. So, but yeah, here's another little pullback into that area. The next spot for the long would possibly the first. So the way I like to look at it is I start at the highest time frame. If we pull back about 72, 72's lining up right here. 72's right in this area. 72 would definitely overrun everything on the 610, which would make it look like we would be looking for short trades. But that's the biggest area right here around 72. But the first areas that we'll come across are, you know, this one around 75. Then we have 72 to follow after that. So, yeah, and it could just keep going from here. It looks like it's going to try to. This Bollinger Bands are really wide and spread apart to the upside, which could really just push them up. Here, it's a little bit conflicting here. It's showing strength and momentum to continue to the upside. This is showing weakness to maybe give a push back. I wouldn't mind seeing a push back around 72 and then continuing up. Actually be quite lovely. So, all right, well, that's going to wrap it up. It was a quickie today. One and done. And I have not been available, guys. I've had a lot going on. And I am really trying to buckle down. I've made a lot of changes and I've actually started over with the curriculum. I've got a solid what we're going to be looking at every time, every day. So, all right, guys. Well, hope y'all have a fabulous Thursday. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email to motivated.trader.love and I'll be happy to help you out.